Hey everyone, welcome back to the Urban Whispers podcast with your hosts. I'm Lacey Knight, and as always, I'm joined by Sloan underscore Bueller and Ed Morg Stays Book. The Lacey Knight Urban Whispers podcast is really geared towards uplifting Black women in the space of romance, where we talk about a host of other things, but we really want to create a platform where we uplift these writers that are often overlooked in the mainstream space. It is Black History Month, and by the time you all get this video, it will have just been Valentine's Day. Or, yeah, it would just, Valentine's Day is on the 14th. So, yeah, this will come on after Valentine's Day. So, and actually, you all, this podcast will air on Mardi Gras Day, on Fat Tuesday. Woo! Ba-da-da-da. So happy Mardi Gras to everybody who celebrates. I will be in New Orleans, so I will definitely be doing all of my debauchery before we jump into the holy season. How are y'all doing, Sloan and Morgan?
Good. I was joking this morning. I said Juvenile gave them a new song just in time for Mardi Gras, and I didn't go this year.
It'll be the same song there next year, girl.
It sure will.
How you doing, Morgan?
I'm doing all right. Just tired of the cold. And Groundhog said that it's gonna be cold for another 6 weeks. So
Listen, all my DC, Virginia people, Maryland folks, we are going through it. It's because it's been below freezing for the last. We are now entering the third week of below freezing temperatures.
Oh,
I can't. I'm just like, dog. I think I talked about it in the last podcast, or maybe I was just talking to somebody else. It was like, I always said that DC is the furthest north I could go because my body can't handle this temperature. It's literally been an average of 11 degrees.
it's a
There,
balmy 41 here.
it was a balmy 41 on Tuesday, and then it was a nice 35.
Oh,
Like, I actually went outside without a coat on. So I was like, oh, this feels nice. Literally been seven. The wind chill right now, it is 19 degrees and it feels like -4. And the wind
ooh,
is blowing. I went to the ATM because I had the cleaning people come today, and I'm a plushy tushy. Okay, when I tell you the wind blew me, I was like, oh my god, it almost blew my big body into the middle of the street. I was like, Lord, get me home right
girl,
now.
you must be losing some weight.
I mean, I've dropped a couple, but not
Oh,
enough. Not for me to be flailing in the wind like I'm what is it, a whimsical woman or a ballerina. I literally, the wind pushed me, and I was nervous because there's mounds of ice. It's not even snow. It's like mounds of very hard, extremely frozen ice on the sides of the street. So I would have really
mm-hmm.
myself because you can't. They haven't even done a really good job of plowing. It works. I am a bit more relaxed in my irritation because I just think that the infrastructure is not built for this type of weather. Like, usually we get
Mm-hmm.
snow, and then what happens next is it jumps up to like 45 degrees, or it might be, at least it'll be above freezing, and it's raining. So this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
it's like softer. So, but it hasn't had a chance to really firmly melt. So people are having to figure it out, you know. But I said,
Yeah.
now I will say, if it doesn't look better after this week, and I probably will be more irritated than I was last week.
Yeah.
But yeah, y'all
It's
be
about
safe.
like ours. Our snow kind of is freezing and then melting during the day because, we're getting above freezing, and then at night it drops. So it's just,
and it turns into ice. So
yeah, I was trying to clear off some of it just to make it a little bit easier to walk because it's getting so slick now and it is just full ice underneath there. So I think I spent like 10 minutes out there and did like a little square foot, little square.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard to get it up.
If you can,
Me?
Morgan,
hmm?
turn your mic up a little bit if you can. You're a little soft.
Okay. Is that better?
You might be further away from it than you normally are.
How about it?
Yeah, that's better.
Oh.
Yes, that is better. Thank you, ma'am. Look at that little behind the scenes audio production 101 for you guys. Um, so yeah, staying in the cold. I haven't been on the train. I literally have been working from home. But I have been reading because I've been on my Peloton, my bike, because I haven't been doing anything. So I just said I'll be on the bike and be flipping through. Well, what have
Mm-hmm.
you been reading? Have y'all read anything these last weeks? What y'all reading? I'm interested.
I started Acquisition of Love like literally right before we started recording. Mel Daw's latest release.
Is it a part of a
Um,
series?
it's like the spinoff of not the last release, but the one before that. I forget what it was called. The one before the Love Bully. It's basically it's about her dad. It's about the FMC's dad. Like in her book. Spoiler, y'all. I'm sorry. In her book, her parents' marriage dissolves, and it is going to be about her dad because I've been loving it lately. She's been doing older characters, like at least 30 plus.
Love that.
And this one, since it's her dad, he's like 50 plus. I haven't been introduced to the FMC yet, but I'm sure that she didn't do a huge age gap. So
Hmm.
she doesn't really do those. I've noticed.
Age gap for like somebody's younger and there's like a
Yeah. Yeah.
age.
Where he's for sure like 50 plus because his daughter is like 30.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I haven't got to her yet, but I don't think she's that old. I haven't been introduced to the FMC. I literally just started. I'm still in the prologue. So
Gotta keep us posted on that. What are you reading, Morgan?
I just finished an arc called The Exit. It's a debut novel by a lady named Leodora Darlington. She's from like the UK or something, Black woman.
Hmm.
Her book came out this past Tuesday, and then I read a couple graphic novels just to get on Sammy's nerve because he always says, "I got you that color Kindle, and you have yet to read anything in color." So I read a 4-part series by this guy named Carlton Clay, Black man, and then I read Curl Friends by this Black woman. I can't think of her name. And I actually read the second book first because I got the arc for it last year and I didn't realize it was a part of a series. So I finally went back and read the first part.
okay.
But it's a one of them is more like a middle grade and the other is maybe a children's graphic novel, but it's like teaching you about the importance of like friendship and all that kind of stuff. Like it was about total maybe 200 pages and it was like, oh, I could have used this when I was little.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And what's the new lady's book about?
Hers is a mystery thriller or maybe a suspense thriller because she has these ex-boyfriends and they end up dead and she like has these moments where she blacks out and she thinks that she's the reason that they're dead, but actually it was her sister. I figured that out like maybe chapter 5. So like something ain't right. But the way that it kind of plays out is very kind of like a Lifetime movie or
Hmm.
something, you know.
Mm.
I thought it was good. Some of the reviews though on Goodreads and stuff were like it fell flat for me. I'm like, y'all are just read the book. Damn.
Woo.
Taking the fun out of reading. You're just so you write a book and then let's see how yours comes out without AI. How about that?
Oh,
Mm.
people be AI right there, but
Mm.
mm,
Annoying.
AI.
I enjoyed it. I was after like the first 2 chapters, I was like, oh,
Go
what
off.
how these people keep dying? And it just is
Girl,
a whole thing. She's in therapy and it's all this, yeah.
me and AI to write. It's so funny because people be like, "Well, not everybody's able to write the book with," and I'm like, "Exactly."
That's the whole. Let me. Can I just speaking of AI and people using AI and writing things? I am like my job. I'm a technical writer by profession. I write business requirements. Well, I don't do it so much anymore because I've been in this game for a while, so the children do that now. But but I had done some discovery for a specific project, a thing that we're about to launch at work. And it was like a quick 8-page brief, and I did my thug thizzle with it. And so finally, like, my director and my manager, they were like, "Oh my gosh, Kiana, all this content is so golden." And it take me like 2 weeks. Like, I had to do the research, I had to read a bunch of different, not just stuff in the space of learning and development and coaching and facilitation and all of this, and then, like, we do all this down and, like, make it make sense to the company that I work for. And yeah, they were reading through. We were having a working session to come up with, like, layman's terms for the stuff we're about to roll out. And they're like, "This stuff is amazing. Did you use Copilot for this?" And I was like, my face. I was literally like, "Bitch, are you fucking kidding me? A computer against my writing?" I was like, I said, there are obvious, for a person who writes, there are obvious notes that let you know that AI has written something. I was like, I've been working with this company for at least 10 years. Everybody knows that I'm a great writer. No, I did not use AI for this. Like, I was like, it's not. And even a couple years ago, I remember, Morgan Rising Leaders, we'd be on those calls. People like, "Did you use AI to write?" I was like, "No." And I'd literally be like, "No, bitch, I'm a fucking writer." But I do know that people do utilize, Chat GPT and Claude and all of that to write. But it's just like, and I'm on the fence with people. I don't know how I feel about people using books to write AI. Because I don't use it that often, but I have, like, because I'm just curious. Like, I'm always, because it's a tech tool, it's taking over the world. I'm going to start doing prompting challenges for folks to help them pull out things cohesively using the tool. I'm always curious to see what comes out of it. Like, I'm a little on the fence about it. I've written a document before and then put it into my company's form of AI to see how they would enhance it, and it looks like trash in my opinion. But I can see how somebody who does need some help with writing, utilize it. But
I don't know, for like the expression of writing, like your fiction, the stuff that's supposed to be coming from your mind and stuff. I'm just like, do you like, yeah, no, not everybody's going to be able to write a book, and that's okay. A lot of people have desired for generations to write a book and have just not been able to do it. And it is a skill, and you can improve it.
yeah,
You can. Like, you can write your book and then rewrite it, you guys. Like, you don't, come back to it later. I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel. I'm like, it's supposed to be you, but also maybe it's just not your calling. And that's okay. I think that for a lot of things, we have become so used to having to be able to do stuff, like sit in the uncomfortable. You might miss out on something. It's okay. I've been doing that lately. So, like, oh, I really can't do that. I don't know. Like, people going into debt for stuff, and it's like, oh, you didn't have to go do that.
not at all. Not at all.
I don't know.
We'll get back on that in a second.
Yeah, we will.
I have been reading Chanel Parker quite a bit. I
Yay!
have an art book that I'm about to start reading called Where We Belong. Have y'all heard of this?
Who's it
By
by?
Charlotte Dennis. Are you familiar with
Mm-mm.
her? Oh, okay,
Mm-mm.
great. It's an alumni love romance, and so yeah, I'm participating. I'm going to the Black Romance Book Festival, and they were like, "We're looking for ARC readers, and you have to, like, fill out forms for a plethora of authors." And I was hoping that I could be a part of Kennedy Ryan's ARC, but they shut that down quick.
Oh, I'm
I
sure.
the email. I was like, "Dang, I missed out." But with Kennedy Ryan, because remember I was telling you all the last time that I wanted to read um not worth your tears, and they were like, you need to read this series, that series. You need to really read before I got to this book, because it's about the last brother. And so it was cute. So I read that, but I had also read, and just I don't want to spoil it. I'm not going to say anything. Coco's best friend, Sweets. Is he the same Sweets that was murdered in this other book that she had about? That's, you know what I'm talking about, like the girl. I don't
where
know.
She takes off, where she witnesses the murder and leaves. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Because in that book, they were pretty much all the friends that they had.
Exactly. So that's why. Yeah, they were each other's friend. But I was like, because I was reading, I was like, I hope that I was trying to remember what the name of that book was so I could read it next. And I was like, I don't want to be reading about somebody who I know is going to be murdered in the future.
Conflict of interest.
Yeah, because I was like, because every time he comes up, he is still, you know, like he's just, they don't really get too deep into what Sweets is. And I read this book from Baby to Boss, which is like a time jump, like it's like a children's book, you know, like the kids are in it. And they were like, Sweets is a hustler. He be doing this and he be doing that. And, you know, the person that I'm talking about in this other book was trans, and she, because I think I talked about it, you know, because I was like, they kept toggling between pronouns. And she was a hustler in the book too, so I didn't know if something had happened. But yeah, but I am reading. So I read You're My Little Secret 1, and then I read 3, because, you know, I just be like, why the hell we gotta have all these
I wish I had did like you did, but I did read all 3 of them.
Well, I just was like this, and so now I'm reading the second one, because I read all 3, and then I read From a Baby to a Boss, and Coco was just talking about how much fighting they were doing as kids, and I was like, I guess I missed all of that. So let me read this second book so I can, because, you know, I love a good fight scene. I love when they be outside jumping each other and
tussling.
I love a good tussle. So yeah, so I'm reading the second part of You're My Little Secret, even though I know that there is a happily ever after, and I guess I can't be too mad with Dominic, since Brooklyn is supposed to be his secret. When I tell you that this motherfucker, he really pisses me off. Like, you got Kennedy as your girlfriend in the first book, or your fiance, and Brooklyn gets pregnant at the end. It comes out, and then he winds up marrying her, and Kennedy and Brooklyn gets pregnant again, and it's and literally the conversation. He's playing games, like, for some reason, because I really read the first book, and then I jumped to the third book, so I missed how terrible of a human he is in this.
Yeah, I told you I wish I had skipped book 2.
He is literally playing both of them.
He's so childish, and I'm like, how am I supposed to be rooting for this?
Exactly. I'm like, so Brooklyn's 19 in this book, so for me, like, everything that she does, I can understand, because she is a kid.
Yes,
she's a child. 19 years old,
and very sheltered.
Very sheltered, exactly. So, but she the one that got the most sense out of the two of them. And I'm just, and then his mama is just sitting here going for it. I'm like, ma'am, all they're saying is, you need to let Kennedy go. That's it. But he's not. And I'm just like, dog, this is wild. So I'm at the scene, before we jumped on, I was reading while I was waiting on my daughter to come out of the train station. And the baby is sick, and they all went to the hospital together. And Kennedy's at the hospital, and Brooklyn's there. I'm just like, dog, this is just toxic heaven for me. But this girl, what? I literally, and then I was like, oh, so they gonna fight at the hospital, because, you know, these little urban romance people, they love to fight at the hospital and in front of a school. That's where they get busy every time. I feel like at the school. So, but yeah, I'm gonna finish reading this second book. But I'm very. If I had gone You're My Little Secret 1, You're My Secret 2, and You're My Little Secret 3, I wouldn't have finished the series, because I'm just like, Dominic is just too fucking stupid.
Then it's a good thing you did that, because I was like, oh my gosh.
And now, and, you know, and when I read the third book, I was like, I kind of like Dominic. Now he's like my least favorite one out of all of them. Because you know, it's Dominic, it's David, it's Bryce, it's Brian, Caleb, all of them.
Jalen. Yeah.
Jalen, and then what's Tigger's real name?
Girl, don't ask me that because I called him Tigger the whole time.
Well, now Tigger's my
Daughter called him that.
now Tigger and Keller are my favorite. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, so that's what I've been reading.
Mm-hmm. Let me know when you get to worst case scenario.
I've read worst case scenario.
Oh, with the twins, with the crazy twins.
I think so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You probably did.
Yeah.
Nas and Remo.
That sounds familiar. If not, I'm gonna read it tonight. I'll just read
What
it.
story? Toy Story? Toy and Story?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I did
Mm-hmm.
read that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I really enjoy everything. I'm not because of how irritated I'm not necessarily irritated. I just am over like the 1, 2, 3 series. The only person that I think that writes series like that doesn't piss me off to no end is really Sion. Cause like I know she'll do it to be continued, but it doesn't bother me as much. Cause even with, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's off the
I like when
label.
she does too, though.
Yeah,
But
like it's
the
off
one
the
that she
label.
did, 3. Sorry, y'all, we making this a Sion Lead podcast again. The one that she did 3 very well with was the That's All Me, the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
It had to be 3 parts.
It had to be 3 parts, and also because she created that universe, and you knew what the parents had already gone through because of how the situation that happened with their kids. So now, and so literally, I was just sitting there like, I'm reading this story, and I know that this man is dead, and I know that at some point we gonna have to watch him get shot. But I was literally just, me. I was like, every time Jordan popped up, he's dying. Because of Jamal. It was Jamal's fault.
Jamal's beef. You know what? We can't be too hard on him because he knows. He was aware. Jamal was aware that it was his beef. He like, ooh.
Because of Jamal. That's why he lost it.
But to be honest, I don't think we would really care for Justin if he had lived, considering...
We care for Justin till the funeral.
To the funeral. That's what I mean. Like, considering...
And quite honestly, I wasn't mad. Y'all were mad at what happened at the funeral, but I was like, I can't fucking stand Janisa. So good for her. I'm glad there's a secret baby up in here. Good. Because somebody needs to knock her off her house. Playing, because I was like, playing Justin like that.
Girl,
true. Fuck out of here.
Well, I was always Team Zuli, so I don't know what to tell y'all. From the moment from book 1, That's All Me, the beginning, book part 1, I was like, oh, girl, you was with Zuli? Oh. And then find out why they work together, I was like, oh, Zuli, you need to get over that. Yeah, that 15-year-old abortion.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Zuli was way too old for Janisha.
Yeah, like, yeah, that girl got an abortion. You was in jail. You need to get over that. I don't know. But anyway, let's go.
I didn't care about... I don't know. I like Zuli Jr., but I didn't care about Big Zuli.
I think he was a good match for Janisha.
I think that Janisha should be single. She deserves the single life.
There are some people who need to be locked down with one person because to imagine them single and dating is just the worst. And she is it. Her and Jury. So while I hate Jury, I love Benji. I think he deserved a little bit better than Jury, but
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, like nobody was really mad that he was dating her. They were probably all happy that now she can come off their pockets.
Oh, yeah.
They were like a little bit irritated because you kept it a secret, but then they were like, wait, no, you can take her. It's not a problem. We're just kidding.
Funny.
We're just kidding. You can take our child, take our goddaughter, take our niece.
It's fine.
It's fine. Whereas everybody else it was big beefs every single time. But
every time.
But no, not with her. But yeah. So Morgan was like, there's a couple of events happening at the end of the month, or at least one that we want to highlight before I get into videos of the day.
Yeah, so at the end of February, the 22nd through the 28th, that week is called Black Children's Book Week.
Oh.
And it's looks to be more of a virtual thing. You kind of just take on the initiative and just highlighting Black children books throughout our different platforms. I figured it'd be something we can do. Black Children's Book Week is a global celebration of Black children and the people who ensure Black children are represented in books and their other children's media. The week is administered by Black Baby Books, a platform that makes it easier to discover children's books with Black characters. We invite everyone to join the celebration: parents, guardians, authors, illustrators, publishers, educators, librarians, business people, community advocates, and others who advocate for Black children. It starts on the last Sunday in February every year. And then they give a full list of ways to participate. So, of course, like just sharing on social media, highlighting maybe even Black books that we wish we could have had in our childhood. I have read quite a bit of arcs for Black children over the last maybe 6 or 7 months. And those are some of the most phenomenal reads I've read, even as an adult. Like, dang,
Mhm.
I really wish I would have had that in my early adolescence. Now, granted, we had Judy Blume and, all these different
Yeah.
things, but it's different when you see characters. The illustrations are even really, really just amazing, seeing them look like me or one of my cousins or something. So
Mhm.
yeah, great way to celebrate. So some things that I think we can incorporate from the checklist is, promoting, of course, Black owned bookstores, as we often do, specifically buying for or from Black authors who specifically write for children. Donate to our favorite literacy or youth programs, and maybe even purchase or donate some Black children's books for people in our community. So.
I love that. I'll throw that on the in the liner notes of
Period.
the episode so that you all can find out more, follow, and participate. And
Mhm.
hopefully, some of that will hop up in the storygraph challenge that you have of a
Oh
book.
yeah.
Hmm. Yep. And I'll be remiss, because like I said, this will come out after Valentine's Day, but there are some holiday love novellas that we could even see, let people think about for Black History Lovers Month. Sloan, what you got? What are some novellas?
Um, I love I'd Rather Be With You by Kay Shanae. That is a good holiday romance. It's short novella. I like Kay Shanae as an author. She was a teacher and she stopped recently to write full time. So, and she's published under Be Love. And
Period.
she's gonna be at the Petals and Prose book signing that I'm going to in May.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I can't wait to see her.
Any others that you got in mind?
Let me see. Girl, I love me a holiday novella. I actually do like a Valentine's Day one. I'm not gonna lie. Um, Katrina Jackson has one called His Only Valentine. Tay Monet has one, Valentine's Day with a Real One, but that's like an older one, and it's a spinoff of She Fell in Love with a Real One, something like that. And it is connected. I do know that that one is connected on what you call it, on Amazon. Oh, Sticky Situation by Chaslyn Hamilton. Um, I read book one. Uh, it is a standalone. Book one is a standalone, and let me tell you, Sticky Situation indeed.
I have one that I haven't read. It's called My Funny Valentine by Renato L. Friday.
Hmm.
87 pages. I think I'm gonna add it since I need some type of Valentine something for the month since I haven't really read any romancy kind of books.
I
I think
have
I got it one time. I'm sorry, I got it on one of those like stuff your Kindle Day ones or something last year. It's just was.
Hmm.
Mhm.
I have something like Paradise, which is by my favorite author, D.A. Young. She was in fact the first guest that I ever had on this podcast 2 years ago. Go back and listen to it. It was like an almost 4 hour conversation, but it was good. I love her down. She's my favorite. And it's a part of a series called Ties That Bond, but this is a spinoff about the parents. So that's really cute. And so it's a mature romance story. And then if y'all are definitely into it, just her Men of Whiskey Row series, Sweet Obsession, all of that, Ruin Me, all of those, you would definitely get your vibe and love feel. It's just straight up true love stories. She is contemporary romance, not urban. She definitely has interracial romance, not just black woman, white man. It's everybody. She has a couple of just straight up black man, black woman romances too, but she's contemporary romance. I love her a lot. Her writing style is exactly how I would love to write. But so yeah, y'all got something for the lovers. And anytime I get the drop DA, I'm always going to. You have The Farmer and the Bill, which I think that was her introduction. Like that came out maybe 11 years ago or whatever the case may be, but that was what really put her on the map. Like a lot of people enjoyed that story because that story, The Farmer and the Bill, is about a farmer. Obviously, he's a black farmer in a small town of Baymore, Maryland, and the Bill is this really great. She does like she has her own intimates company like Victoria's Secret. So they get together and they work through things. And it's just a cute little story. I enjoy it. And he's fine. And so it's great. But they deal with topics like infertility and, a lot of things happen in that situation. I think maybe even miscarriage, but I enjoy her a lot. I really do. And I really enjoy talking to her too. That's my dog. She don't never want to come on camera, but she's a great time anytime we chat. So I'm gonna play some videos for you guys before we close out for today. That's gonna get you all.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry, I really hate the way that romance as a genre is being discussed and referenced and like totally disregarded and discarded in this entire discourse regarding anti-intellectualism on BookTok. You will have a person that comes on here that's talking about like anti-intellectualism as a self-proclaimed media literate intellectual, and they'll come on here and they'll talk about how there are some books that are junk food fiction. There are some books that are like fun but don't require much thought, and their only examples are a bunch of romance novels. It's either contemporary romance novels, it's dark romance novels, it's romantasy, or if you want to use its government name, fantasy romance. And they're just going to show a bunch of romance novels to some degree. And they're like, yeah, reading anything is better than reading nothing, but don't you want actual quality? There's people calling it like straight up comparing it to like chips, where someone was like, yeah, eating chips is better than starving, but don't you want to add some nutrients? And then they're like, there are two different types of books. There's this, and it's a romance novel, and then there's like the actual high quality complex, and it's like a high fantasy novel, it's a science fiction novel, it's a literary fiction novel, it's a piece of classic literature from the Western canon. And they'll be very dismissive and disrespectful and very reductive in their treatment and their views on romance as a genre, as if it's not capable of being these complex, meaningful things. And then you'll have people who think they're defending romance go into the comment section and they'll be like, let me read my junk food. Let me read trash. I work so hard all day doing X, Y, and Z. Let me turn my brain off and read trash. And it's like, why did you agree on this one thing? Why is that your intersection? Like why does that have to be the one point where you overlap? In this like understanding that romance is just like trash. It's such an old, long-standing genre that just has not been taken seriously by anyone for so many years. And I hate that these so-called advanced critical thinkers and these so-called lovers of the genre truly just don't give a shit right now, at least not from the people who are arguing the loudest on these two sides, like from these perspectives. It's very aggravating. I'm sorry, I really hate the way that romance as a genre is being discussed and
okay, I know y'all probably sick of my shit, but I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna just keep on talking about it. So I saw a video yesterday of this lady. She was like, if you're confused about like the difference between urban fiction and like contemporary romance, like think about the TV adaptation. So she was like, if it's contemporary or whatever, it would air like on ABC, it would air on CBS, da 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 da. But if it was urban fiction, then it would air on like Tubi or TV1, BET Plus, and da 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 da. And I get the sentiment of what she was trying to say, but I fear that's still based in like elitism, because I feel like when people are like, oh, it's on Tubi or whatever, like I feel like you're talking about like the quality of work. And so I'm just gonna push back a little bit, because like there were so many other opportunities to compare it to something else. Because like when you think about Power, like Power was on Stars, you know what I'm saying? When you think about The Chi comes on Showtime. When you think about The Wire came on HBO. Snowfall came on FX. Y'all get what I'm trying to say. So like I feel like that is a better comparison, because when you say stuff like Tubi, you're almost speaking to the quality. And just because I just want to say that there are bad writers in every single genre. So when you try to deduce urban fiction to Tubi, it's like your elitism is showing, right? So like The Wire, great show. The Chi, great show. You know what I'm saying? Power, great show. Like all of those kind of shows or whatever, like great shows, great writers. You get what I'm saying? And they came on premium channels. So like that would have been a better comparison to me. But that's just me. Okay, bye. Okay. So, hey, there's a big difference between conflict and struggle love. Just because issues arise in the romance does not mean it's struggle love. What you guys are really trying to say, or what you guys should be saying, is that you would like a low conflict romance, aka a fluffy book, which is fine, but stop calling it struggle love. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
All right. Oh, Morgan, you look like you have something to say.
I was just gonna chime in on the second young lady. I agree with her when it comes to comparing books to adaptations, because I don't believe that all of urban fiction is Tubi. I think all of urban fiction is given definitely BET at most. I feel like when it comes to Tubi, I think is where you kind of cross the line, and you're almost talking about the writing style of the author, and it's belittling their character as becoming authors, specifically Black authors or urban fiction authors. And I think it's a little disrespectful in a sense. We talk about Tubi as low budget or whatever, and there are some probably pretty good shows on Tubi.
Absolutely.
And
There
so
are.
for you to
There
say
are.
something like that, not that she did, she was addressing it. I agree, that's very disrespectful. And almost fighting words. Anyways, when you go to the first young lady about the different type of trash genres or trash books and things of that nature, I think that's where you take the fun out of reading. Yet again, there's so many people that are on social media for sound bites, and they probably really did enjoy the book, but they know that there's going to be a little controversy because of 2 or 3 lines in the book. So now we're blowing it all up, and now this author is canceled. I think if you have a good moral compass, then you're okay with reading any genre, any author. You could decipher what you maybe consider trash may actually really be good and could be a New York Times bestseller. So some of the art books that I've read, as I mentioned, the book I just finished, people were saying, oh, it fell flat and da da da. And I'm looking at these people's profiles. And so, now I'm digging, because why you say that the Black girl, you didn't like her writing? So now I'm looking at your profile. Oh, you only read Sarah J. Maas. Of course you're going to think that. Like you don't have an expansion of diversity in your profile, or the capacity to even think of the experience of a Black woman, because honestly, even though it was a suspense thriller, it was from a Black woman's perspective. So you automatically have a defense up, and so you just reading to read because you got a free book and you think you're cool because you got a free book before it came out. Child. Anyways, let me stop before I get canceled.
You can't get canceled. You can only get canceled if you believe in being canceled. And baby, we don't get canceled. Who? The president literally just put our former President Trump, President Barack Obama, and his beautiful wife on his Twitter page as monkeys, and then said it was some White House aide that did that. No, the White House official that made that post was him. So no, Morgan, you can't get canceled because we live in the United States of America, And the biggest troll is the current standing president of this country, and he won't get canceled. So all y'all my ass. I will not be getting canceled for any thoughts that I have. Will I be apologizing for any thoughts that I have while I live in these here United States of America? If you got beef with it, then this, I guess we gone down from 14 viewers to 13.
I'm hollering.
What'd you think, Sloan? Because you sent these to me. So
I did. So the first two that I sent were actually happening at the same time. And I thought that was such an interesting conversation. Like, not only are we fighting with romance as a genre being, respected, but then we also have people being like, oh, this is low budget if it's urban fiction. And it's like, these urban romance writers are really, basically, if you think about it, they like the bottom of the totem pole. Like, they struggling not just within Black readers, but within the whole genre as a whole of romance. And on the note of Tubi, I do want to tell our viewers and everybody, y'all spread the word. Tubi is a real streaming platform, just like Netflix. They just allow a lot of independent films. Like, they just allow independent films. Like, so are they low budget? Yeah, because somebody doesn't have $1 million to make a movie.
But even so, okay, Tubi's for the Black folks. So you and I both know about passion flicks. So do the white people think that passion flicks is trash?
Girl, let me tell you, the way that
shit on there too. Now
people are eating up that one series, but I'm like, this doesn't look good. Those pictures look horrible.
And that's what I'm trying to say. At least, these Tubi movies, the story might be dumb as hell, but that quality of that video camera look good to me.
Oh yeah.
And Tubi got quality shows. I be watching Tubi. I love me.
Tubi has great shows. Tubi's just an independent streaming platform. I'm like, y'all, if I wanted to make a movie and put it available for people, I would put it on Tubi because I paid out of my budget to make a movie and I don't have a distributor.
I have Game of Thrones money. Okay.
Exactly.
Hello.
And I just think, especially now at this specific time in our country, we need to shift the narrative. Like, now, I ain't gonna hold you. 4 or 5 years ago, Tubi, I knew I was gonna watch what's my show with the Butch Queens, the Butch Queen reality show. Like, I knew I was coming to watch foolishness like that. Like, my ARC beta readers and I, with this group that I'm in, we would get together on once a month and watch a terrible Tubi movie just because we were like, oh, it's going to be trash. And that's why we're here. Now, I will say I want to shift the narrative because it's not unlike BET, or if you go all the way back, Morgan, you might be too young to remember this, but UPN, when you had Homeboys from Outer Space, like the WB, like every time you hear these specific things called out, like even Zeus is different now, but when Zeus first came out, it had some solid shows. Like
they were serious when they first came out.
I liked Drea's little reality show. I liked all of those things. Now it's baddies and there's TV and all of those things. But I just wish that the fact that you put the word urban on it automatically puts you at the bottom of the totem pole.
Right.
Which is why I really started this podcast, because these women are on par with their mainstream counterparts, and sometimes they do it better. And you two and myself, we read a plethora of books. You all enjoy this genre. And I also we're not just reading romance. We're not just reading suspense. We're not just reading fiction. I read a lot. I'm in grad school. I'm about to get my Master's of Divinity. So I'm reading a lot of history, just history books, getting wrapped up into all of that so that I understand these things. I have to, as a technical writer, pay attention to what people are saying as a whole, like just in general. Like, I read biographies. I read about when I'm going to different areas. Like, I want to make sure that you all are telling the culture of Arkansas and Louisiana correctly. So I'm reading the books to fact check you. Like, there's so many things, which is, for me, it's like when these conversations happen, I find you to be bottom of the barrel when you sit there and say that, because it's just, that's low hanging fruit instead of you doing. And oftentimes you haven't even read any of these books. You're just making an assumption because it's a Black person that wrote it.
Yeah.
So automatically.
And I really want to say this. You read like one book by one person and you've painted the entire genre because I read wide, you guys. I do read the white romance people, okay? I don't really talk about them on here because I do want this for me, I want it to be about Black authors. But when you talk about like struggle love and poor writing and stuff, I'm like, y'all, it is in those books too. I literally thought about a book the other week. You know, somebody had mentioned struggle love, and I thought about a book the other week where it was a white romance. She walked in on this man cheating on her, and at the end of the book, she ends up back with him. But those white people don't call it struggle love.
No, they call it conflict and
They
resolution.
do. They actually thought it out. They actually seek that stuff out, to be honest. Any books where he cheats on her and they get back together, they literally seek it out.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's it's like I'm like, it's so tired. And I get it, you know,
So
and
tired.
I'm always like, I'm so excited that more people are reading, but I don't know if it was one of you all that said, or if I was just talking to somebody else, but it's really more like reading is just this trend now. Like people going back to the AI story, like people are putting books in AI so that they can get AI to give you the summary so that you can sit here and have a conversation about it. And I know that people's comprehension skills aren't there based on how they comment on a book. Because I'm like, you could not have read the exact same book that I read if this is where you ended up in this. And I'm often like, I jump to the comments because I'm a lurker. And then when I'm in the comments, I'm like, okay, there's some people in here changing your mind. Like I remember, and I don't know, Sloan, if you got it, when Sion releases books, she puts things, she does a little the off to the side chat. I can't remember which book it was, but someone was in there trying to be apologetic for Terrell, and everybody was like, bitch,
I think I remember that.
Wow.
I think it was
like, why is everybody, and she was
like, it the most unprotected book one?
It might have been, and literally everybody was like, bitch, this nigga's a pedophile. What are you talking about? Like she had this, and it was like,
not only that, but he was also like a deadbeat dad.
He was a deadbeat
to his own kids that he had with his wife. Like for people who aren't familiar, Terrell, he is the father to several main characters that we have. We find out like he had a plethora of kids, and then they keep finding out about more, and then we get to the most unprotected, and she meets him as a minor, and we know that, you know, at one point we thought that he was the father of her baby. So we're like, oh, so he groomed her, because like this girl is in a perfect situation to be groomed. So the fact that anybody could be like, oh, try to be apologetic to Terrell, like, no, Terrell was trash.
Crazy to me. And the thing was, I was like, girl, what? Everybody was like, obviously you didn't read this book. And it was quite obvious that she hadn't. I feel like she might have gotten the sample and, you know, put the sample in AI and it spit that out. Because if you would have read the sample, it would have seemed like, you know, that he was just a man trying to help her out.
I don't know how she got that conclusion, because from the moment he appears in The Most Unprotected, we're like, my stomach dropped. I was like, what do you mean that she was 15? Like, what do you mean she was a minor? I thought he just, you know, had a baby with a young girl because he kept doing that. What do you mean she was a minor when they met? Like, my stomach just dropped. I was like, no. I was like, Terrell do a lot of stuff, but surely not.
He did.
He was grooming the girl.
So I want to, you know, sound off on Instagram and our comments on YouTube. Let us know what y'all think about these videos and how, you know, what can shift the narrative. And sometimes, and you know what, we might be protesting too much. There are some urban authors that love to just be like, yeah, I am bottom of the barrel. Hello, Quan Mills. Trash.
Love Quan. That hoe got roaches in her house.
I can't do Quan.
Yes.
I can't do Quan. Quan, when there was legit debate on if that was even a black man, I was like, and that's why I can't do it. There was legit debate on if that was actually a black man.
No.
Because I think it's the titles most times, because some of it is some of the storyline be like, oh, okay, that's actually kind of good. And I mean, it's just
No.
it's a soundbite.
I just can't do it. His titles are a soundbite, but yeah. No, it was really when there was actual debate. I was like, oh no, I can't do this.
He's great.
That was so because, and the thing is, me and my friends were like, I was like, I got this book I want us all to read together, and it was the one about the grandma. She was fucking somebody, and then
Your grandma
like,
thought.
what was she? Yeah, grandma thought. My grandma thought. Yeah. I was like, we gonna read it, and that was a series too, and it was like, and then it was because when they came out and they were like, Quan Mills is white. I was like, oh. And so this whole guy roaches. That's of course this white man gonna write these black ass books, but no, Quan Mills. You know, that's my point is proven. Look at Morgan reading that trash. That we will never uplift that over here. And if that makes me elitist, then I will just be elitist.
That's fine.
Me too.
What are you talking about? Now, I will sneak and read. Because what foolishness is that? But no. Fine. That nigga writes some trash for real.
This nigga got a small dick part too. Yes. You gotta love it.
No, you do not have to love it, girl. What did you talk? Old Thought Next Door. That was the one I read.
DNA Thoughts, the coldest thug ever. Psycho Baby Daddy.
See Pussy too.
I read me and my God. That one. That one was so funny. Like we had questions at the end. We was like, but wait, what's gonna happen with?
You know, he's very active on TikTok. So if you got questions, he'll answer them.
Oh yeah,
he sure will. He's very active over there.
He loves the fact that y'all want to talk.
Are devouring those books.
Hey, listen. Here's the thing, though. If they got Kindle Unlimited and they're reading on their Kindle, he's getting paid per page of how many times someone reads the book. So, I mean, hey, support your Black authors.
I think you only get paid one time, unless they changed it. I think you only get paid for the one read. Oh, you get paid for rereads? Okay, because they
all the time.
Oh, girl, no, they used to not do that. So they used to not do that.
I reread the conversation and that. Of it just the summer. I reread these bad boys right here. I be rereading these on my Kindle.
Period.
Echoes.
Now, make sure you take your books with you to the Black Urban.
Okay.
Can you take them?
She's
as a non-writer there.
What happened?
Your books to the Black Book Fest.
I mean, I'm not going as a. I'm sure I could. If I was like to hang out.
You have free will. You were meeting people and saying, "Oh yeah,
girl, yeah, just go hang out."
Looks.
Because I'm literally, I have a QR code. They can scan it and buy it.
Okay, yeah. Period.
They can scan it and buy it. Because what I look like? Because I don't travel heavy.
That's fine, but I still think you should take one of each so that people can see it.
Oh yeah, the book. They don't go. They're always with me, girl. That's why I try. That's why I got that big purse.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is not for resale. This was a proof. But yes. But that's all, that's all I had, and don't nobody go read no Quan Mills support better not run up after this episode. I'm just gonna be here. Video. Pregnant by my mother's gay husband.
I'm gonna spit my water out. Yes,
y'all. Yes. Look, I have a trash author who I read, and I found out that she Black a couple of weeks ago. I subscribed to her Patreon, and I was looking at the oldest posts, and there was a video, and I said, "Black," like the episode of Abbott Elementary, Black. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I told my friend about it, and she said, "Well, at least you know your guilty pleasure is a Black woman." And I said, "Yeah, a win is a win."
Well, she is, so I can read her.
I put her in the chat before.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll scroll up. But
I'll text it to you again.
But yeah, no, I don't think I have. That one girl, what was her name?
You don't have a trash author that you go to? I call her trash lovingly, y'all. It's very lovingly. When I say trash, I mean like her storylines are really good. I just desperately need her to get a proofreader. Desperately.
That's what you use AI for. If you broke,
That's what you need. Yes,
it in there.
that's what you use the AI for.
You
Girl,
use the AI.
please put a period.
Editor on your Word doc.
No, use the good ChatGPT and just say the prompt is, please do not change any of my text. I just want you to read this story and proofread it for grammatical nuance. Enter. And then it will appropriately edit and not change your intellectual property. And then also do it in incognito mode, so that way it doesn't get put to the public. It's just for you in the chat. But no, the lady, what was her name? She had in her villa cheating on my ex with the next. What was her name? We talked about some Kindle Vella people. You like her too. Lisa Austin. That's the one.
Oh man, you know what? That woman could come up with a story. I'm like, this is so just not realistic at all.
Yeah, Lisa Austin.
I can't even say reality adjacent. Like, girl, this is what do you call it when it's contemporary? But there is no way this is possible.
It's Lisa Austin's universe. That's what it is.
It is. I love her.
Her and Keita Kendrick.
Put it on the mob. It's so weird when you talk about her because all I think about is put it on the mob.
Listen,
and then peak it's boo. I hate, I just told y'all not to be harassing these authors, but I am gonna go slide in her inbox and be like, girl, please write peak it's boo book for October for Halloween. Yes. She could just start right now. She got a good head start. 8 months.
She might be writing something right now, like me, girl. And
she might be. Well, the book is. It's so insane. It is so insane, but they're short. Like, it's 3 books, and collectively, the books came out over like 2 years, and they're less than 120 pages collectively.
Oh.
Yeah. So, like, I literally need her to come out with just a little something, because I thought she was gonna wrap it up, and then she was like, she left it a little open-ended. So I'm like, go on and do what you were trying to do.
All right, Lisa, you heard from Sloan. Get to writing, girl. Halloween. Peak is boo, number 4. And Quan gonna write about Halloween roaches from outer space.
I'm hollering.
Well, this was lovely, you guys. As always, it's amazing. You can catch us on all forms of social media. Sloan is doing her thing for Urban Whispers Podcast on Facebook, so please interact with her because Facebook, that's all you, girl. You got it.
I do. Facebook is where the readers are.
I guess so. But
we just got to be active. Y'all, I'm there. Y'all come talk to me in the comments.
We got to do some lives or something.
Yeah, let's go live. We'll plan it.
We're going to find somebody to go live with. And I think, have you read? I would love for us to talk about Lady Nisha's book.
Problematic.
Yeah,
I gotta buckle myself down for a book that long that has a cliffhanger. I really gotta.
Because Nikki keeps asking me, can she come on the podcast to talk about it? So,
okay, I will let her know when I finish it. I'll let you know when I finish it.
Yeah, and she's ready. She's already ready to come talk about it because she.
Okay.
All right, y'all. We will catch you in a couple of weeks.